2 to 1.
Baggedmilk. 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 Oh, I swear. Oh, Baggedmilk. And I'm hungry like Baggedmilk.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing?
Doing very, very well.
I'm sure you're doing much better after a couple wins. No beats for a couple days.
I think we all collectively needed the Oilers to win a couple of games. The vibes were pretty dark around here for a while, you know?
Yeah, they went on a bit of a tear. The wins that we've seen in the last couple of days, too, I think are like the come from behind wins. Is it just me, or does that give us a little bit more of a boost too?
I hope so. You know, I think that last night things were, I mean, if you looked at last night's win against the Canucks 2 weeks ago, there's no way the Oilers would have come back from down 2 goals in the third period to win. So you have to think it's a boost, right? To do it against the Flames and the Canucks. Now, I know the Canucks were shorthanded. They were missing a bunch of guys on COVID, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's had to go through it. So you can't take away the fact that the Oilers were resilient. They didn't quit. They kept moving and they found a way to pull it out. And it was a good time. It was looking dark for a minute, but they turned it around. They kept at it. So to their credit.
Do you think that press conference, I mean, obviously a lot of fallout from the Matheson Draisaitl stuff, but I mean, I think maybe does that help that dressing room?
Maybe, you know, it could be a rallying point for the dressing room. Like everybody was all in it together after that. I'd like to think so. I mean, we moved a lot of units with our pissy tea. So that was a gift for all kinds of reasons. But yeah, I think you might be right. I think it was one of those ones where things were going so badly for so long that maybe something like that was enough to rally the boys a little bit. And then, you know, a comeback win against the Flames doesn't hurt either. And doing it again against the Canucks. So maybe the ball's finally moving in the right direction.
Getting a boost, I'm sure, from Nuge returning last night. Even though he's not scoring much this year, he still does so much good on the ice.
If you looked at the nerd spreadsheets last night, Nugent Hopkins had a very, very fine game. He got an assist on Draisaitl's game tying goal. That was an absolute beauty. So yeah, it's nice to have some bodies coming back and some key players like Nuge, who plays in all 3 situations. Hopefully Zach Hyman will be back for the game against Nashville on Thursday. So that's obviously going to help. You gotta like seeing the boys getting healthy for the first time in a bit. And hopefully this carries forward, because outside of tomorrow's game against Nashville, they've got Montreal and then they've got Ottawa after that. So they've got a chance to get some of these wins back that they lost over the last month or so. So that'd be a huge little stretch for the Oilers.
Not that we need to continue to dwell on this, but that press conference, and this is pure speculation, a pure speculation question on my part, Baggedmilk, but do you think there was any fallout behind the scenes from the Oilers brass? Not just Draisaitl, but just to the whole team about how to present themselves to the press?
That's a good question. But then at the same point, we want these guys to show emotion. We want these guys to give us their actual thoughts and not just a canned response. So I think you're probably right. Maybe they did. But again, you and I are both guessing here. But at the same point, I like when Leon Draisaitl gives an honest answer. And I like seeing that he's upset. I like knowing that he's annoyed.
I like pissy Draisaitl.
Me too. So you're probably right. They probably did have a conversation about it. But at the same point, I really hope they didn't, because I like when guys give us their honest feelings like that. And it was a very real and raw exchange, and you don't get that in this league very often.
Yeah, one thing Mark Messier said about it was just like, as a leader of the team, maybe not the best to go out there and be grumpy.
Yeah. But I don't know how you expect him to be, or anybody in that organization, after the December that they had. Right?
I'd be more upset if he was out there smiling and happy, right?
Well, that's what I was wondering too. Like I saw the Mark Messier clip too, and I agree with him that you're the leader. You're speaking to the fan base on behalf of the team. But like Locke said, you lost 12 of 14 at that point. Yeah. Everybody knows why Leon was in a bad mood. Everybody.
Yeah. And he's also reflecting the fan base when he does it. Are you celebrating the great one's birthday today?
Always. I'll be having a glass of wine here first thing in the morning.
Hopefully
that's how we do it around here.
Some Gretzky wine.
Gretzky wine.
Oh, I can't afford that in this economy. Are you kidding me?
It doesn't come in a box, does it?
Yeah, I need a box that comes with 6 liters in it.
back to the share emotion, and this is probably just a sign of my dysfunctional hockey upbringing, but my most memorable moment from a coach was we were down, and it was like it was the middle of the second period.
Yeah.
And
nobody was wearing helmets back then.
No. We had a coach come into the dressing room, and he didn't say anything. He just grabbed a stick from a kid at the end of the bench, and then just started beating the hell out of a garbage can. And he was cracking. He broke the stick,
you up.
And then he just walked out. He didn't say a word. And I was like,
that'll get the blood pumping, you know?
Let's go play.
Let's put the foil on.
Come on.
I'd love to know how often that happens in an NHL dressing room. It's just like where the old garbage can toss comes in or something like that. Because that's the one I always used to get in minor hockey is I had the coach toss the garbage can a couple of times.
My favorite is the Bruce Boudreau during the HBO series when he's in the Capitals locker room and every second word.
And you know what? It sounds like we're exaggerating, but if you know that clip, you know, he said the F word every second or third word.
It was amazing. And then his mom yelled at him after
his
that.
mom got mad at him.
I also like to see that clip when people bleep out all the swears because it sounds, you can't understand. It's like watching Scarface on TBS.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, do you have any of those shirts left?
Those tees are gone. They were a one and done design. We just did it for a week and they are now gone. But if you do want one, we do have some available with our friends at Sports Closet around the city. They've got a few locations around the city.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, Oilers Nation had the pissy t-shirts up for grabs. Yeah, I was laughing because I literally saw the clip and then I saw an ad for your shirts.
We move fast, man.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, thanks for your time, Baggedmilk.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Oilers Nation.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.